Welcome to Laughing with Cancer, show number 1. I am your host, Elvis Rico. On today's show, we're going to talk a little bit about what this show's all about. And maybe get into a little bit of when you were first diagnosed with cancer. So if y'all are ready to do this, let's sit back, strap yourselves in, because it might be a bumpy ride. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hi, everybody, and welcome to show number 1 of Laughing with Cancer. I'm your host, Rick Ochoa, a.k.a. Elvis Rico. What'd you guys think of that intro? That band's called the Nexalites. The song is called Bogan Race. If I happen to be butchering the name of the band or the title of the song, please somebody let me know, and I do apologize about that. They're Nexalites. But anyways, I like that intro song. They have another song called Harsh Toke. Not quite sure what that's all about, but I don't know. Anyways, I bet you guys are wondering, what is this show all about? What is Laughing with Cancer all about? I mean, you got cancer. Why are you laughing? Because you have to laugh. That's the only way to get through it and staying positive. That's what this show is basically going to be about. Is it going to be about laughter? Is it going to be about cancer? Is it going to be about health? Is it going to be about exercise? Is it going to be about chronic illnesses? Well, my friends, it's all of the above. Yes, we're going to be talking about cancer, of course. We're going to be talking about health, about dieting, what foods are good to eat, what foods are not good to eat, different things like that. Exercising, of course. We're going to be talking about getting into the gym. But, we're not going to be doing it Arnold style, We're not going to be going, what's wrong with you? For you got the cancer. Forget about the cancer. It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor. Get in there with the tries and the buys and work them hard. And you got to quit being a girly, man, and stop your crying. We're not going to be doing any of that kind of stuff. But we are going to be talking about, getting into the gym, getting your exercise on, and trying to muscle through all that fatigue and the pain that I'm sure a lot of you are dealing with when you are talking about cancer or chronic illnesses, because I myself am. Now, I personally have leukemia, but like I like to say, leukemia does not have me, my friends. No, I say, does not have me. Some days, I feel like it definitely has me by the nads and is yanking. You know what I mean? But those days, sometimes I just have to get myself up, force myself to the gym, and give my body a reason to hurt. That was a lot of ways I got through it. Was just kind of like, you know what? I'm hurting in certain areas. Those are the muscles I'm going to work on in the gym. That way, I can kind of tell myself, eesh, am I hurting right now because I'm sore, or because of the chronic pain I'm dealing with? So basically, and that's some of the things we're going to be talking about. And like I said, of course, health, diet, and just trying to stay positive with laughter and kind of make this place a community that we can all kind of get together and help each other out, help motivate each other, help talk to each other, help inform each other, let people know that, hey, have you ever tried this kind of food? You ever tried that? You ever tried, did you know bananas have all sorts of different kind of things to help you and give you energy, actually, and fiber, help you crap better. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people just think, banana, monkeys like them. That's kind of what this podcast is going to be about. Just kind of helping each other and motivating each other and hopefully getting everybody to laugh at each other, laugh with each other, laugh at the situation you're in. Now, I am Elvis Rico. A lot of people wonder why the name Elvis Rico. Well, I was an Elvis impersonator for 15 years. Had to stop for a while because, of course, I got really sick, chemo, no hair, wasn't going to wear a wig, and I was on oxygen. So I had to stop doing Elvis for a little while. But now I'm doing better. I have the hair. I look good, man. I really do. And I'm back to doing some Elvis stuff. Now, I'm not technically in remission, but my cancer is slowly progressing. And that's because I have CLL, chronic lymphocytic leukemia, which is a slower progressing type of cancer. And normally 75% of people with CLL are, over the ages of 60. So I don't know. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's not. I don't know. The doctors don't really know. I was like, so doc, does this mean when I turn 60, that I can start really worrying about it? Or do I have to worry about it now, in a couple of years? What's the deal? They really didn't know. So basically, we're going to make this a community that we can all just kind of share information. Because let me tell you, my friends, first off, I am not a doctor, a psychiatrist, a physical therapist, a nutritionist, a personal trainer. I am none of those things. All right. So some of the things that I might talk about of how I was able to get back in shape and things that I did, I wouldn't technically suggest that you guys do that because, I'm kind of stubborn. And when I say I'm going to do something, I kind of stop all the other stuff I'm doing, I guess you could say. When I decided to get back in the gym and get off the oxygen and stuff like that, I was 330 plus pounds. And I was on the oxygen, all sorts of pills. I just kind of said, that's it. If I don't do something now, this cancer, this diabetes, this high blood pressure, it's all going to kill me in one quick, it's going to all kill me. You know what I mean? So I just took the oxygen off, got back in the gym, completely changed my diet, and dropped down to 250. So with this being the first show, the very first show of Laughing with Cancer, I don't really have any feedback yet. I don't really have anybody that has sent me any emails or anything like that to kind of tell me how they felt when they were first diagnosed with cancer or any other kind of chronic illness. I did have somebody send me a letter, email about their diabetes. They had type 1 diabetes and how they had to be stopped at the airport and searched. And somebody even thought they were doing heroin in the bathroom because they were, doing their insulin and stuff and having to move tubes and stuff because they have the permanent insulin box on them, having to move the tubes during sex and stuff like that. So how much of a pain in the butt that is. And, I'm luckily with diet and exercise, I'm not going to move to stage 1 of my diabetes. I'm going to keep it at the stage it's at, or else, hopefully get rid of it. But without any other really information, we're going to have to talk about, let me see, me, which I don't mind talking about myself because I happen to love myself, happen to really like myself on other days. And my girlfriend, she happens to love me on most days. Other days, she kind of likes me, and the very small percentage, she probably thinks I'm an ass. But, my ex-wife, she hates me every day. Every day. She won't even talk to me. And but that doesn't matter. Who cares? So, we're going to have to talk about when I was first diagnosed with cancer. That's right. Yeah, it was scary. It all goes through your mind all of a sudden, like you're thinking, what just happened? Did he just say I have cancer? And then it feels like you get punched right in the gut and you can't catch your breath and you're like, and you're waiting for that extra breath, but you don't know where it's coming from. And so you're kind of confused, and then you have to drive home from the doctors. Now, when I first went to the doctor, I had just had some pains in my legs. I didn't know what that was all about, and I hadn't gone to the doctor forever because I didn't like doctors. Why? Because they always gave me bad news. And I didn't want any bad news from doctors, so I just didn't go to the doctor. But my aunt had had a massive heart attack, and she was having pains in her legs before she had this massive heart attack. And I thought, well, I better go check it out because I don't want to have a heart attack. That was my worst thought, that maybe I might, have a bad tick or something might be wrong with my heart, And come to find out, my Heart's very good, very strong. Cholesterol's great. It was my blood contaminated, so to say. And so go to the doctor, take my blood that same day, find out I have cancer. So that was all kinds of emotions going through your head. You have all kinds of emotions going through here. You don't even know where to start with the emotions, what to do, what to say, who to tell first. What do you do? You know, what is this? This can't be happening. This doesn't happen to me. I see this crap to other people. You know, I see this kind of stuff happen to Joe Blow down the street. You know, this cat I was working with had brain cancer not too long ago, you know, and whoa, you know, that's too bad. And all of a sudden, what? Now I have cancer? No, this is wrong. Let's do some more tests. Let's find out what's going on. Now, let me tell you something. It really doesn't matter what kind of support you have. You can have all the support in the world. You can, your family be behind you 100%, friends, everybody. But I guarantee you, you feel alone. Because at the end of the evening, when you're lying in bed, all your mind is doing is running through what happened. How did I get this cancer? What in the, how does this happen? And your mind just rolls all night long. You probably don't even get to sleep the first week or so, if not more, when you're told you have cancer. And the first thing you want to do is research. So that was what I did, you know, got on the internet, tried to find out all about leukemia and stuff like that, and found out benzene exposure, radiation, that kind of stuff. Overexposure of radiation can cause leukemia. Well, I worked at the power plants. I worked in the mines, and I worked with radiation. So did that give me the cancer? I asked the doctor that. I said, Doc, you know, I deal with radiation normally, and I've been dealing with radiation for 15 plus years. You think that what, you know, I could have got over radiated or something, you know, out in the field? Nah. But I was reading that they said over radiated. Nah. That's not gonna happen. Well, it also says benzene exposure, and at the power plants, there's benzene all over the place. They're releasing it every hour on the coal crushers, on the bottom of the coal crusher, right? Everybody has a cancer gene, and something just triggers it off. Well, that's what I'm saying, Doc. Did that trigger it? Nah. All right. Okay. All right. Whatever you say. What do we do next? And then the docs get into the platelet count and blood cells and this and the bone marrow and blah, blah, blah. And all you're thinking is Charlie Brown, wah, 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 wah. That's all I kept thinking. I was like, huh? What? Okay. All right. So basically, I'm like, all right, Doc, well, then let's get this done. What do I got to do? I got to take a pill? You know, I got to do a little chemo, shave my head. What do I got to do? Well, he said, well, we got to set up a bone marrow biopsy and all this stuff. And I was like, all right, a bone marrow biopsy. Let's do this. Let's do it now. He's like, well, let's get it set up. I'm glad you're anxious to get started on what we got to do. And to be honest, man, I was just scared to death. I had no idea what the hell I was doing or what the heck I was saying and what was going to happen with my family, what was going to happen with me. We didn't know what stage I was at yet. We didn't know how bad it was getting. All I knew is that I had a high white count, and that meant leukemia. Now, I don't know about you guys, but, well, because nobody sent me no feedback about when you were first diagnosed. But with me, I went through the 5 stages of grief. You know, whether it be the loss of a loved one or being diagnosed with cancer or something like that, you go through those 5 stages because it's, you know, it's technically something you have no control over. Death, you have no control over. Cancer, you have no control over being diagnosed with cancer. So, you know, there's those 5 stages. You got the anger, you know, you got the denial, the bargaining, depression, and then acceptance. And I think I went through all those really fast at first. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Then it starts all over again with the very first one. And then it's a little slower. Boom, 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 boom. And then start all over again. It's even slower. Boom. Anger. You're pissed off at everybody. You're pissed off at the doctor. You're pissed off at your wife, or your girlfriend. You're pissed off. If you're a religious person, you're pissed off at God. Why would God do this to me? I pay my taxes. I take care of my family. I don't beat my wife. I don't beat my kids. I'm a good guy. I provide. I take care. I go to church. Why would God do this to me? You know what? Piss off, God. How about that? How about me and you have an understanding? You want to make it rough for me? Fine. I'll do it on my own. You get angry. You get mad. I did. I was mad. I was pissed off at everybody. And it didn't make it very nice on my kids. Didn't make it very nice on my wife. That might be why she divorced me, but no, there's all kinds of other reasons why we got divorced. Anyways, my poor kids, they had to deal with a grouchy ass dad, mad all the time. Then came, the denial. Then you start thinking, wait a minute, I don't have this has to be wrong. I need to get a second opinion because I think this doc is high. I don't know, maybe you got the wrong test results or something. It's been known to happen. Stuff like that happens. So that's probably what happened, right? That could be what happened. Then comes the bargaining. All your what ifs, if onlys, Man, if only I hadn't worked at the power plant for so long. If only I hadn't been an x-ray tech. If only I'd have left and went to Hollywood like I was supposed to. I could have been in the movies by now. If only I did this. If only I did that. Well, if you were supposed to have cancer, it wouldn't matter what you did. You're going to get cancer. If that was in your cards, you're going to get cancer. If that's the way the chichi bounces, as I like to say, that's what happens. Whether you're in the movies, whether you're in the field of work that you do, it doesn't matter. If you're supposed to get cancer, you're supposed to get cancer. But I mean, unless you're smoking 2 packs a day and then wonder why you get lung cancer, well, then you kind of knew what was going to happen. You keep smoking all them damn cigarettes. So with that, then next, comes the depression. And the depression really sucks. I didn't think I really had that much depression going on because I held it in. You know what I mean? I didn't let people know I was depressed. People said, what? You got leukemia? I was like, yeah, no problem. I don't worry about it. Yeah, they say it's for old people, and so I'm not old. I got a long time to go. I ain't too worried about it. But really, inside, you're scared. You're alone. You don't know what to do. And you become depressed. Now, can't believe I'm going to tell you this story, but when I realized I was actually really depressed and lost, confused, and I was sitting at home, and I think it was when Cars first came out, the very first Cars came out. And so I was sitting there watching it because I got the DVD for the kids. So I'm sitting there watching it, and, I have my oxygen on. No, I don't think I was on oxygen yet at that time. But I'm sitting there watching it, and the part where the little car gets lost in the desert and doesn't know where he's at, I'm watching that part, and all of a sudden I break down and start crying like a little baby. Because this poor little car was lost. And guess what, my friends? I was lost too. And then I realized, man, I'm just getting more and more depressed. This is terrible. What am I going to do? So I can't believe I just told that story. With that depression, after that, you kind of get with the acceptance. You accept all, okay, well, all right, I have this cancer. I'm going to have to deal with it, whether it be good or bad. Let's set up our appointments, find out what we got to do, and let's take care of this. So then you go to your appointments, and the doctor tells you more, wah, 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 wah. And guess what? You start all over again with the frickin' anger. And that's kind of how I dealt with it at first. A little bit of a roller coaster, up and down, back and forth, up and down. And still working, still working, helping this clown start a new company. Me and my dad were helping him start a new company, getting started. So we were working a lot of hours, and which didn't help much. definitely doesn't help much because I'm still dealing with the radiation, still working out the power plants. And for all I know, that was still helping my cancer progress. But of course, the doctor says, nah, that had nothing to do with it. But yet everything I read said that it had something to do with it. I don't know. But I just kept on going, kept on doing what I got to do. Why? Because I have a family and I still had to provide and I still had to do what I got to do. And I had some Elvis shows to do. So I had to be singing, you know what I'm saying? I had to do that because, it doesn't matter, man. If you're caught in a trap, you can't hold out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was basically, the beginning of my roller coaster. So, I want you guys to tell me about your roller coaster. Tell me how you started off with your journey through this wonderful blessing we have called cancer. You might as well consider it a blessing because you really can't consider it anything else except for a big suck ball, and that's no good. You can't keep it that way, right? So let me know how you guys dealt with it. Let me know what you think. Send me some feedback. Send me an email at laughingwithcancer@gmail.com. I'm on Google Plus at Laughing with Cancer. My Facebook, Laughing with Cancer. My Twitter, Laugh with Cancer, because Laughing with Cancer was too long for my Twitter. So it's at Laugh with Cancer or at Elvis Rico. And my website that I'm still kind of working on, because I'm no genius when it comes to this computer stuff, which technically, I know some of you guys might be thinking, dang, this sound, well, he's got this echo, he's got this, he's got that. This is going to be a trial thing, up and down kind of thing, till I get my groove, you know what I'm saying? Till I get my spot to where I know what I got to do, and it comes naturally. So with the help of you guys, I'm sure we'll get it going, because this is going to be a show of many shows. All right? I'm going to be doing this for a while. Because why? It helps me, and it's definitely going to help you guys. And like I said, I want to make this a place where we can all come together and help each other with everything. All right? So, as I was saying, go to my website. It's laughingwithcancerpodcast.com or laughingwithcancer.libsyn.com. Go to those, check it out, send me some feedback. Let me know what's going on, and maybe next show we'll get into a little bit of why you need to be laughing. What helped me to get out of my funk, out of my depression? Well, it was laughter, and it was a podcast. That podcast is my good friends Keith Malley and Chemda Khalili and laughing, and Keith and the Girl. It's the podcast that helped me, I like to say, saved my life, because I was in a dark spot, my friends. Dark, I tell you. And they helped me out. All right. So, with that said, I want to thank you for my very first show, for joining me, for coming here and listening to me jabber about myself. But like I said, hopefully the next show I'll have some feedback. We can talk about you guys. But, unless you want me to talk more about myself, I definitely don't mind doing that. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you, do. Oh, thank you very much. Them dogs. I swear to God. These dogs I have. See, it's like I can't record during the day, or else I got the dogs or the airplanes, right? At night, being in Phoenix, it's hot as hell, right? So you have to have fans running and stuff like that, no matter what. So you can't record then because there's humming, and this room, until I can get more foam or whatever in here, has an echo like crazy. So I'm sure if anybody could help me with any of these problems that I have, which I'm gonna have some problems with this stuff because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm learning as I go, baby. Learning as I go. So, anyways, thank you guys for listening to Laughing with Cancer. I'm your host, Elvis Rico, and we'll catch you on the flip side, baby.
Thanks a lot for listening to Laughing with Cancer podcast with your host, Elvis Rico.